Hello! Welcome to our Q&A. If you have any questions for us, if you do write them to us, let us know that you want them in this video, in our Q&A videos, rather than being answered in text.
Yeah, because sometimes we do answer them in text on the blog, but if you specifically want this,
then
let us know.
First question. This question is killing me. Would you say that it's a good idea to marry the person who was your first everything? I'm talking sex, kissing, etc. Or is it good to explore with different people before you settle down? What a fucking good question!
Yeah, I mean, because obviously this completely depends on so
everything.
Many different things.
Yeah. I do believe that if you're already questioning that, in the back of your mind somewhere, you want to explore, you want to try other things.
The problem with that is if you're thinking about it, if you end up in this really long-term relationship and then far down the line in your relationship, you're going to be really craving all this other sexual exploration. And that's not going to be good for a relationship.
I'm the opposite. I think that I don't believe in being monogamous with somebody. I don't think it works, me personally, but I know it can work for so many different people.
Yeah.
I would say that I would never settle down with somebody without exploring other things first. But, you know, when you know.
Personally, that's kind of what happened to me in my first serious relationship. Like, we were together for 2 years and I ended up splitting up with him because I wanted to go out and explore, like, sex with different people and stuff. It just wasn't... He wasn't my first everything, but he was, like, the third person I had sex with, and the other 2 times were
the main everything.
Yeah, and I just felt like, I was want a little more...
Well, I mean, we're only human. We're like, our brains are so fucking advanced that we want to explore and try new things all the time. And even when you're a lot older, you'll still want to explore and try new things. I think it's dangerous to keep yourself exclusive and not to be able to try new things. Like, there's so much out there, so much excitement, and also you need to experience negative things with other people, you know, bad experiences, so you can learn for the future, and you can learn for the important relationship you have where you are together for a long time.
Yeah, because there are so many different things that can happen when you're sleeping with other people, and you just need these life experiences to build yourself as a character and like build yourself as a person. I know there are loads of people that do stick with their first love and their first, and that's because they did find love like at that early age, and
it's a rare thing, but it
is rare, but it definitely does happen. And we're not saying at all that you shouldn't stick with that person even if you love them, and it's really hard, isn't it?
It's a hard one. The thing is, I don't think I'd ever recommend anybody to stay with one person just because you're human, you're an animal, you're both animals. Like, even if you feel personally that you don't want to fuck anybody else or do anything else with anyone, the other person might, and that's when complications arise.
I mean, this is when people end up cheating.
Cheating because they're too scared to talk to the other person about it, and you know, upset. Like, if you're not on the same wavelength, I'd say if you were going to get married, then be happy with an open relationship, so you get to the point where you're both comfortable and happy within yourselves to see other people and experiment with other people. It doesn't work for everybody.
No, that wouldn't work for me at all.
You have to be very, very sort of like confident in yourself and the other person. Trust is all there, but it can get so complicated. You have to be so open and on completely the same way.
Yeah, because it's all about trust, and us women and men sometimes have problems with trust, and it's a hard one. That I would say it was tricky emotionally. I would suggest, if you're thinking about this and you really love the person that you're with, then maybe have a discussion about it with them and ask them, well, maybe we can have a break before we really settle down and explore other things, but you have to sort of realise that this might mean that they won't come back.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's set in stone. You can get back together in the future, but you also might not. You have to be aware of that. People change, people grow up, and people mature.
Exactly.
But just do it the way you think best.
Next question. Okay, this was a 2-part question, but I'm just going to read out the second part. Even when I've waxed, I still feel self-conscious about it not looking smooth enough, and she's talking about her vagina and feeling abnormal, which makes her pick her vagina, like pick the ingrown hairs and stuff. And she said, I've seen your video on razor burn and I feel like I can't even
like, you know,
I can't even, like, you know, be cool about it in a sexual situation. because it's a scabby war zone. I made it look really bad, and I'm kind of at a point where I'd like to have a sex life, but I won't be intimate because I'm embarrassed. So basically, I really wanted to answer this question because I feel like you have some sort of trichotillomania.
Yeah, or some sort of obsessive compulsive issue with picking.
Yes, and I think you should try and get help. I think you should go to therapy. I think you should try and get cognitive behavioural therapy.
Yeah, especially with someone like that hasn't had sex yet, someone as young as you. It sounds like it's a bad issue that has spiralled out of control.
Yeah.
But you've done the right thing in admitting it to yourself, and even writing to us. It's already going to start helping you think, right, now I have to do something about it.
Yeah, you know what your problem is, and you know that it's something that needs to be fixed. And I totally understand the urge to pull out ingrown hairs. I mean, we both do it. Yeah. It's fun. It's relaxing.
You can't fucking help it half the time. You don't know you're doing it half the time.
Yeah, sometimes with shaving you get really bad shaving rash, and obviously you say that you wax and you still do it, because I wax because it's so much smoother.
Yeah. I mean, I had the same fear. I used to be so disgustingly terrified that somebody might see, like, stubble. It's hard to say that people don't care, because in your head you care and you think that they care.
You obviously can't stop doing it, which is why you need to get help.
Yeah.
And just because it's down there doesn't mean that it's a private issue and it's just something that you have to deal with. Like, this is obviously affecting your relationships and your sex life. It's something that's you really need to get sorted out. We understand that it's so hard what we're asking you to do, but if you go to therapy, they will be able to teach you how not to do it, and there aren't really any amazing coping mechanisms we can sort of advise. I would just stop shaving, because that's going to irritate your skin the most. Don't shave, because that's going to really make you want to pick. Maybe let the hairs grow out. If you're not having sex, then let the hairs grow out, let it repair, let it heal.
I have heard that one good way of stopping yourself from doing something you can't is, you know, those little clicking devices that you click and it comes up with a number.
Yeah.
So like every time you click it, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I've been told that if you get one of those and every time you find yourself picking or scratching or doing anything, you click it. So you're mentally noticing what you're doing, and therefore, hopefully, you can prevent it. Because half the time is that you just don't notice.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's too late, and it's not nice for you. So that could be one way of giving it a go and seeing if that makes you more aware of it.
What you seem to have is dermatillomania, I think, because that is the obsession with picking scabs and stuff like that. So if you go to the doctors and tell them that you have this, they'll know what to do and they will refer you to CBT. Just make sure you go and get help, please.
Yes, do it. Third question, how hard is it for a guy to get into acting into porn movies? Well now!
You know about this.
My speciality. So I actually do get quite a lot of guys messaging me being like, I want to be a porn star, how do I do it? And the best advice I can give you is that be confident and do as much work as possible. It is fucking hard for a guy to set up. It's almost as hard as becoming a model. If you were to become a model, it's like, where do you even start?
Yeah.
You can go to an agency, but they will take a big cut, and also you might have rejection here and there. You don't have to have a big dick to be in porn. It helps, of course it fucking helps. It's the same with, you know, it helps to be tall to be a model, but you don't have to be tall.
Well, when we were on the porn set, I didn't think the dicks of the porn stars that were there were that big.
No, it's literally, they look massive on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you get the one-off porn star that has a 13-inch dick, which is just obscene.
Yeah.
But most of them are like slightly above average. It's all the confidence that they have. There's so many things you have to learn for a porn actor, especially because it's just like acting. You have to go to auditions. It's hard to find paid work. You'll have spouts where you have nothing for months and months and months, even if you're trying really hard. All porn, everything porn related is on Twitter, and that's because they're allowed to have explicit hardcore images up on Twitter. If you want to be in porn, guys or girls, get yourself a Twitter profile and start putting pictures up of yourself, start making videos, start contacting other porn stars, other companies, saying, if you're a girl, saying I'd like to do work. Normally girls are snapped up instantly, especially if you're attractive. If you're a guy, it's a lot harder because there's so many guys out there that want to do porn that can't do it, especially when most guys think they can do it until they're in front of a camera.
Yes.
You got to make sure that you're happy fucking in front of people. You're happy in being naked in a room full of people, especially a crew watching you. It's not that you're just going to be sitting there fucking.
It's not like a small, like, one-person shoot sometimes. It's like full on, lots of lighting, like director, cameraman, producer.
It does depend on
makeup.
It does depend on how big the company is. A lot of amateur companies will take guys on for free. It is all completely legal and medically sound. Every porn star needs to have their medical certificates done, I think monthly at least, to be able to shoot, because they won't shoot you otherwise. And that's just going to a doctor and saying, can I have a full sexual screening? And it can cost a lot of money as well.
Yeah, you need a certificate.
Yeah, but you have to do it all legal, as well as 2 forms of ID. Most companies will ask for 2 forms of photo ID, so a passport and a driving licence.
Yeah.
Saying that you're happy to do free work until you have enough footage, enough content to be able to...
Yeah, just try and get some photos done and stuff like that.
Yeah, get photos done. For a guy, it's a lot harder. It is a lot harder. You have to put in a lot of effort. But don't hesitate to ask other male performers for advice, because most of them will help you out, most of them will give you advice.
Last question of the day. When me and my boyfriend have sex, it feels perfectly normal until we try doggy, and then it hurts me, but he really wants to do it and I feel bad stopping because it hurts.
The doggy pain.
Never feel bad telling someone to stop if it's hurting you.
Yeah, unless you're enjoying the pain.
Yeah.
But doggy is a difficult position anyway, because it changes the shape of your insides. It changes the shape of your uterus, and the dick feels bigger. It feels like it hits further back in, and you know that can be really good for people who aren't necessarily well endowed. That can be perfect if you feel like you don't have a big penis and you want to make more of an impact.
Yeah.
But with people who do have a big dick, it can fucking kill. I'd say that there are other positions that you can do other than doggy. The only thing that with doggy is that guys like it so much is because you're a lot tighter. Yeah. Because when you're bent like that, when you're upright, everything's all squashed a little bit differently. So it can feel a lot tighter.
And they get a good view of your ass.
And they get a really good fucking view. They can grab your hair. They can do all this. You know, they got the love
There
handle.
are a lot of different positions that you can do doggy in though. And this is what I think you should experiment with. Like standing up doggy, bent over, like leaning on something. Leaning against
standing
the wall.
up doggy's good.
Then you can do doggy with your knees, like tighter together or further apart.
Yeah. You can also, instead of just doing doggy with your arms up, you can have your whole head down and ass up. Head down, ass up. That can be more comfortable if you're on your arms for too long, but that tends to make it tighter still. So it might not be the best position to go for.
Make it more painful.
I would say you need to be completely open and honest with him and tell him that it's not comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable for you, you're not enjoying sex, you can't have a pleasurable time. And especially if you're thinking about it, if you're going, oh, this hurts, this is causing me damage.
Let them know as soon as it starts hurting, and start seeing if you can change up the position to make it feel better.
Yeah.
Then you can work it out together.
Yeah.
And if you can't find a compromise, then sadly he's just not going to be able to do doggy.
It also does help if you ask him to go slowly, and you tell him the point where it starts to hurt.
Yeah, because maybe he could not go in as deep.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go in that deep. Be honest and open, and say, you know, if I'm not enjoying sex, then what's the point? I can't orgasm if you're doing it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I find I actually can't orgasm in doggy anyway.
I definitely can't orgasm in doggy. I enjoy it now and again, but it's not the comfortable position.
No, to be
it's
honest,
more like a porn position.
Yeah, I only do it because my boyfriend likes it. It doesn't really ever feel that great for me. It doesn't feel like, it just kind of feels like,
okay.
It's okay. I'd rather be doing another position.
It depends. It can be really fun now and again.
If they play with your clit at the same time, it's usually a lot better.
Yeah, a lot better.
Maybe involving a toy for the future of mine.
Oh my god, yes. Like, relax yourself with a toy. Put a vibrating device on your clit, hold it there. It can be hard when you're in doggy, but that can also relax you, because especially if you're feeling pain, you're already tensing up and waiting for the next bit of pain.
For him, but like lying on your stomach on the bed.
Yes, I love that. That That's my favourite position of all time.
Yeah,
It's
so
the lying
good.
down doggy where you're not upright, you're lying down, face down on your stomach, and he's fucking over you, and your legs are together, his legs are apart, and it's really tight. And I find that's my favourite position of all time, but I find it way more comfortable than doggy. There's something about doggy.
Yeah, I think that would probably be better. Yeah. Try that one out.
Yeah, try that one. Yeah, see if that one's good. And then you don't have to hold yourself up, like.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was our last of our questions. I hope you enjoyed our Q&A round. Let us know. We want to hear your feedback too.
Yeah, let us know what you think of this setup. Is it better than the last one? We hope so.
You might have seen my fanny then. Lucky you guys. But thank you very much, and subscribe, and
yes,
we love you all.
Like our video and comment.
Please.
See you next week.
Mwah.
Bye.